Good morning, good morning, beloved. This is your sister coming at you on day, which is the 10th, I think, of January 2021. So thank you so much for tuning back in. I'm right here in the morning, my morning attire. I just put a cup of tea on, and I've got some errands and things to run. So I just wanted to let you know I definitely posted last night, but there was some technical issues on my end or maybe on the site. So I just wanted to let you know we're live and um, we're kind of coming at you a little early. So what I will do, I will talk about it being a new day. It's a new day. So we know all the events that happened last week, and very, very upsetting. But we know our ancestors went through 10,000 times more than what we've gone through or we're going through. And so I want you to be encouraged. I want you to be encouraged. I want you to be encouraged. Let me do something. Hold on. Okay, here we go. So, okay, hold on. Okay, sorry for the technical issue. So, I had the sun. My home faces east, and it was just blaring for me. So I just wanted to adjust that. Okay, so yeah, I'm coming at you early. I just want to make sure everything was up and running again. I knew I had some technical issues, so I didn't post much material last night. So, as I was saying, our ancestors went through 10,000 times more than what we are going through or have gone through. And so I want you to be very encouraged. Please be very encouraged. Please be very encouraged. Because when there's transition going on the planet, it's uncomfortable. It's discouraging. We see all of the different um, things that are going on, not justified. So we have to do our due diligence and be on point, on purpose, and just continue to thrive as we have been doing. So that is probably why there's been so much pushback and from the other community. And I just want you to be encouraged, be encouraged, be encouraged. You have melanin, you have melanin, you have melanin, you know how to navigate this. And our ancestors already laid the platform for us to walk through. So as long as we are doing our due diligence, we're eating healthy, we're staying strong, um, COVID would not come or will not come on our path. So I just want you to be encouraged with that. And so the main thing I want you to, I'll come back on a little bit later on today. I just wanted to make sure everything was up and firing. Um, appropriately. So, and I checked the pendulum, and it said it was when I was upstairs. So, okay, so here we are. So, let me give you a word of advice. A word of advice. A word of advice. This too shall pass. This is an uncomfortable moment. It is very in your face, decisions that are being made, and they're making decisions. That was a decision that was made by whomever, the higher ups, this and the that. But we know our mission. Our mission is true, it's just, and we're just starting. We're just getting started. So be encouraged. Do not say, oh, we're defeated. No, 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 no. Our ancestors, they knew they would have victory. Whatever victory looked like, but they knew they would have victory, meaning in their mind, we would one day be free. So we are free, free to choose, free to make a decision, free to navigate life whichever way you choose. Hopefully it's on the upright. But yeah, I wanted to just put a word of advice to just stay strong, because we know that this too shall pass, and we're going to be the victors. We're going to be the victors. We're going to have victory. We've always had victory, and that's why they're so upset. We've always had victory. We've always stood strong. We're standing strong now. Georgia went quote unquote blue. That's supposed to be a victory. Okay, so let's just say that's a victory. Um, Trump is going to be out of office in a week and a few days. Okay, that's supposed to be victory. And so with that, there's always going to be some pushback from other communities, and we saw that front and center. We saw that front and center. We saw that front and center. And so we know that we've always had the victory. We've always had the victory. We've always had the victory. So be encouraged. See your lineage. See where you came from and where you are now. And this is less than a little bit more than 100 years. That's not a lot of time. That's not a lot of time. So we know that we're going to have victory. We know that there was victory in Georgia, supposedly victory, because they turned a state from red to blue, ruby red to blue. And I guess they're upset. So, however they choose to be upset, we know the bias. We knew it before then, but it was crystal clear. It was crystal clear. So don't have a defeated mentality. That's what they want. They want you to vibrate low. The only thing we know to do is vibrate high. Our ancestors vibrated high. Our ancestors went through 10,000 times more anguish and pain and worked for free, et cetera, et cetera. So for hundreds of years. So we've had the victory. We had the victory here in Arizona. Um, we we went from red, totally red, over 20 years of red, to blue. Now, I really want you to pay attention to what they're going to do perhaps with the new administration. They're not off the hook. They're more on the hook than Trump's administration, because they're putting out, formulas and making decisions with their choices of people, etc. And so that's all well and good, but the proof is in the pudding. If President-elect Biden, if he makes a decision to put, people of color and all that in his administration, excellent, we give him a thumbs up for that. Okay. However, the rubber meets the road when he makes legislation position, because I know, trust and believe, that if you have a brown face doing the work of other people, it's the same. It's more of the same. So there isn't a victory. So I want to see the first 100 days prison reform, number one. Now, the people who were arrested in, I forgot which, there was been so many last year, Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, etc., those protests, I want to see them wash it away. The folks that they were only peaceful protests, that's the only crime that they did, peaceful protests, and they were met with so much opposition. First Amendment right, First Amendment right, First Amendment right. And so, because I'm going into a little bit more than I thought, let me just read the fair use this disclaimer, because I want to dot my I's, cross my T's. So, fair use is okay. Fair use. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute which may otherwise be infringing. So let me do that. I'm going to talk maybe 5 or 10 minutes, but I'm up and running, so I will come back on this evening. But be encouraged, be encouraged, be encouraged. Don't let, situations get you down, because we know what is, going on with this country, okay? Because we always have the victory. That's why that is what they don't want to see. We have the victory without violence. We have the victory without protesting and storming up to the Capitol. We have victory because we have our ancestors. I got chills when I said that. We have our ancestors, and they are protecting, guiding, and keeping us. They know what we're going through. They know let's heal up. They know our plight. They know what their plight was. They know what our plight is. So pray to your ancestors. I've got chills throughout my body when I say this. Pray to your ancestors. Pray to your ancestors. Pray to your ancestors. Ask for their wisdom and guidance, and navigate. When you leave the house, ask for their protection. When something simple, go into the store. These simple things, we want to clear the path. We want to clear your path. We want to clear your path. And so, as melanated beings, the light beings on this planet, call on your ancestors. As I was videotaping upstairs in my office, I was going over about a week ago my father's shrine, if you will, because I was a daddy's girl. And I usually will see his birth date, his birth year, et cetera, during my driving, and this holds really dear in my heart because I recognize his communication to me. But yes, pray to your ancestors. Have a shrine or something memorable for you to have a candle lit. I have a candle lit 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Okay, I keep a candle lit, and I'm about to go and get some candles now because I know that the one lit now is going to burn out probably later on today or tomorrow. But keep a candle lit in your home. You know, some memorabilia or some artifacts of memories from your deceased, beloved ones, and make sure you ask for their protection in these times. Ask for their protection in these times because we have, oh, I saw something going on. So we have total liberation. We don't have to do anything aggressive. We don't have to do anything um, storming up the Capitol. We can live with dignity and lift the vibration. Ask for the ancestors' protection. Ask for their guidance. Ask for their ability to navigate our ins and outs. They have that ability. I got chills all over my body. I'm just telling you, I know this is my truth. We have the ability to do what we ask for them to do. Guide, protect, keep us. Guide, protect, keep us. Just going to the store. I'm about to go out. Probably in 10 minutes, 20 minutes. Whatever I do, I ask for their protection. I ask for their wisdom. I ask for their knowledge to seep into my DNA, into my body. And so I'm not hot headed when I go out because this is the time. This is the time I get everything done, no problem. I come back home. I give thanks to the ancestors. I made it back home to my home, and without incident. But we have the ability to channel and bring in our ancestors. What a gift! What a gift! So keep this in mind. I'm going to come back a little bit later now that the glitch or whatever was going on is kind of gone away, if you will. But we have the gift of our ancestors. We don't have to storm the Capitol. We don't have to do anything. Pray to your ancestors. Ask for their guidance. Ask for them to keep you, even if it's something simple, going to the store. This is our time to thrive. This is our time to ascend to a higher vibration. This is our time to know our truth. It will set us free. So I will come back a little bit later on. It's coming up on 9 o'clock, perhaps another time. Well, it's probably coming up on a 9, 10, 11, so 11 o'clock on the east. And California, West Coast is 1 hour early. So I just wanted to make sure everything was up and running. We had some glitches last night, and I was right in the midst of stuff, but I'm going to come back a little bit later on this evening, perhaps not as late, because I know my East Coasters, when I come on at 9 or 10, sometimes people are kind of winding down and necessarily may not want to hear, or you can go another time perhaps. So be encouraged. This is our finest hour. Be encouraged. Talk to your ancestors. Ask for their guidance. Ask for their protection. That's the most important, their protection. They're just beyond the veil. They're not anywhere far. We can't see them, we can't touch them, but we have the wherewithal to know, trust, and believe that they are just beyond the veil. They're just beyond the veil. They're just beyond the veil. So be encouraged. We know what this country has been to our ancestors and to us now. And so that's why what happened Wednesday was so egregious, because we saw the difference of treatment. We know what our people that are going in peaceful protests. And I'll leave this with you and I'll come back in a few hours, let's just say a little bit later on today. So they had a split screen, and they had one side of the protesters from, I forgot which one. I don't know if it was Breonna Taylor or whichever one. And it was 269, I believe that was the number. 269 people that were arrested at a peaceful protest. They had rubber bullets. They had, they were, well, I know. Anyway, we know what they were doing, had been doing. They had all the apparatus. I'll just leave it at that. They had all the apparatus to do whatever they needed to do to apprehend and perhaps charge. So I would like to ask the new administration to expunge that, just wipe it away clean. We have to make some demands. We have to make some demands. If your choice was Biden, that's better than Trump. If that's how you feel, okay. So we need to go feet to the fire and say, we got you in, we got you in, we got you in. You want to be able to say, sweep the charges from the peaceful protests. The peaceful protests. Probably a few people got out of hand. I'm not trying to say no one, is free of any particular way that they protest. We're angry. Our people are angry. Our sympathizers, they're angry. They saw the total different treatment on Wednesday. We know that. We expect them to arrest on live TV? No, that wasn't. So we know that they're two Americas. They're two Americas. And as soon as we can grapple, kind of put that in our hat and just say, hey, I know first thing you see when I walk in is black. We were having this conversation last night, and that's why I was a little bit later to come on, because I had some company and we were chatting, a few of us, so we were chatting about the different treatment. And so nothing is new under the sun. Nothing is new under the sun. Nothing is new under the sun. And so we get it. We get it. Totally get it. But again, we did not have to do anything like that. We didn't have to storm the Capitol. We didn't have to do, 5 people or 6 people. I think somebody committed suicide. I don't know. I'm not sure of those details. I don't know all of those details. So I will follow up with that perhaps later on today in my second talk. But we didn't have to do any of those things. And we still have the victory. If Biden and Kamala is the victory for you, we've got to hold the feet to the fire and say, hey, we need X, Y, Z, A, B, C. we definitely need the folks that would charge whatever they would charge. I want to find out the charges because the folks from Wednesday, the insurrection, they were charged with misdemeanors. In your face, in your face, in your face. So yeah, don't be encouraged. It's painful. This is a painful period, but we will not be denied because our ancestors have our back. So definitely, have some level of support from your ancestors. My father, he's been gone. This is the 7th year, and I definitely pay tribute to him, and his legacy lives on in my heart. I have his DNA, and I'm so happy the relationship we had on this side, and he's protecting me. He's protecting me. He is absolutely protecting me, and that'll be another conversation, another time. But he is definitely protecting me. From the other side. So be encouraged, be strong, stay strong, my sisters and brothers. Please, this is not the time to be disgruntled or I'm a do blah 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 at work or whatever. No, 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 no. We don't have to do anything, and you see how we have the victory. Okay, we've had the victory. Okay, whether it's this size victory or mountainous victory, but some level of victory. We got Trump out of office. So now we want to make sure he cannot run for office again. I think that's the impeachment. I haven't turned on the programming yet, but I want you to, contact your senators, and even if it's you can press one to if you believe Trump should not should be impeached. Okay, if it's that simple. They may have some phone lines set up. I'm going to call a little bit later on today. It's 11 o'clock on the East Coast, so I'm going to contact my senators. And yeah, Arizona. Uh, we already had one um, Democratic senator, and now we have the second one. So like Georgia, we were totally red, and now we have two senators, two Congress. They're both Democratic senators. It's no big difference between Democrat and Republican, so I don't want to go into that. But it's a little victory. I'm gonna say it's a little victory, a little bit of victory. And we have Trump out of office. So if they are going to, I think his pension, he would get a pension. I don't know how many more years he will live, but he will have a pension if they don't impeach him. He will have a lifetime pension. I want to say he will definitely be able to run for office if they don't impeach him. And I think there's one more. It's like three things. I don't. It's too early here. It's 9 o'clock. Yeah, we know that what is happening. It's a turn of the tide, and it's not always going to be comfortable. And just be encouraged. Pray to your ancestors. They have your back. They're just waiting for recognition. And yeah, I can't tell you enough with to encourage you to see the ancestors. If it's just one smaller room and you have a little corner, that's enough. It's a memento, some things, creature comforts. My father always would give. You go to service with him, and he would reach in his pocket and pull out um, um, a peppermint. And that was something he would do consistently. I mean, whatever age. And he always felt, not that your breath stunk in his mind, but he had to put the best foot forward, and he would be mindful of, talking to people and having fresh breath. So that's what he did. But yes, I want to just say, be encouraged. It's a painful period. I get that. I totally get that. But, we don't have to do anything. And that's why they can't, they have to march and storm the Capitol. And there were 6 people that died. They not even have to die, but their ignorance is what caused their demise. 6 people, they went to work, or 5 people went to work, or I think it was the lady that got. I'm trying to be respectful. So the lady that she left to go to Washington. I don't know where she was from. Maybe somewhere out here, Colorado or something, I'm thinking. She had children, and they shot her. She was doing what she was doing. And so this is what I'm saying. We cannot be encouraged. We can be encouraged because we don't have to resort to those kind of measures, because our ancestors are protecting us and guiding us and keeping us, and that's the most important thing. That's the one takeaway I will impart. And I'm going to come back a little bit later on today, probably not as late, because I recognize there are other sisters and brothers online, but I will probably come in maybe 6 o'clock this evening instead of 7 or 7:30. It's a little late on the East Coast. I recognize that. I have a lot of followers on the East Coast. So be well, stay encouraged, my sisters and brothers. Please stay encouraged. This too shall pass. Our ancestors went through 10,000 times more than what we have been going through. And we don't have to resort, to anything horrific. We know the reaction, we know the response, and this too shall pass. But if you haven't already, please, 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 set up an altar. Set up a small little area that you can have a candle lit, and your ancestors would really appreciate it. Okay. My life has been incredibly fabulous, in spite of what's going on. And I know my Father's spirit is with me. I have his DNA. I know that our connection on this side, it was 10 times, what any daughter father could, experience. And so please be encouraged. Don't be disencouraged. Just don't be discouraged, because that lowers the vibration, and then other, events can come through. And we don't want that. We want you to stay strong, stay vibrant, and be encouraged, okay? So blessings to you, my beloved family. And I'll come back a little bit earlier. I'm going to start a trend of, 6 p.m. On the East, and that is, I'm sorry, 8 p.m. on the East, and then that's going to be 6 p.m. In Mountain Standard Time. So be well, stay safe, and I'll see you soon. All right, peace.